Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's minimalism video is going to be a super exciting one, and that is a collab with my close friend, fellow YouTuber, and friend in real life, SHESFRENCH. She asked me if I wanted to do this collab, asking some minimalism questions, like a couple on her channel, a couple on my channel, and I was like, yes, please, let's do this. This is super exciting. This is like all of like my YouTuber dreams coming true. I remember when I was young, I used to like see like my favorite YouTubers do collab with each other, and I was like, wow, like that's people living their best life. So I'm super excited to actually be in a position where to be able to do this with somebody who shares something in common with me, which is minimalism. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. It's gonna be a couple questions on my channel, and then if you guys want to see the other questions, you can check out her channel at SHESFRENCH. So let me stop rambling and let's get right into the questions. Let's go. Whew. Let's give a moment to SHESFRENCH to introduce herself.
Hello everybody, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Jonat and my channel is SHESFRENCH. I'm a Parisian girl living in California, so I like to say Parisian roots blended with the California vibes. My channel is essentially about minimalism with a big emphasis on fashion. I have a pretty extreme closet of about 15 pieces right now, but I like to rotate my stuff, so there's always a good amount of variety. Essentially, I just want to share my lifestyle, so if that sounds good to you, definitely come check it out, and it's such a pleasure to meet you all. It's very hard describing what your channel is about, just like that, but hopefully I did myself some justice. Super excited about this video.
First question is, what minimalism work-life balance advice would you give? I try my best to implement slow living in my life, so I try my best to not overwork myself. That being said, I do tend to hustle a lot during the week and then fully rest on the weekend so I can like recharge my battery. I also try to say no to work projects that are just going to mess with my mental health, or are just not, you know, like those work projects that you just don't want to do. I've given myself permission to say no to those. So I think that is some work balance advice I could give. You should not create a type of lifestyle with your work that just makes life unbearable. Find that balance between enjoying your work to the best of your abilities while at the same time having slow living. That being said, there was a period of time I was too much like slow living and I started worrying about money. So I think it's also good to work to be able to sustain your life in a healthy way. I recommend living below your means if that's possible. I think a good work-life balance is different for everyone, so figure out what works for you is probably the best advice that I could give.
What minimalism work balance advice would you give? For me, the best piece of advice I could give about this would be to eliminate anything that is getting in the way of your routine flowing. So any obstacles that you may have. The main thing about minimalism is that you want your life to be simple and like kind of like free of like mental clutter as well as physical clutter, so that you can focus on what's truly important. You definitely don't want to spend your time kind of going through this routine with something that's not efficient and bothering you. So get rid of anything that is stopping you from having a good flow.
Number 2, what kind of minimalist do you consider yourself? I think I would consider myself to be more of a practical minimalist. I do try my best to be more extreme in my practice, but I have kind of learned throughout 6 years what works and what doesn't work. So I'm not too hard on myself if I fall short of the societal pressure of what a minimalist is supposed to look like. It really doesn't bother me. I've been doing this for so long. I'm not bothered by how other minimalists live their life. As long as I'm happy in my practice, that is the most important thing.
Question 2, what kind of minimalist do you consider yourself? This is actually a great question because sometimes I don't even like to label myself as a minimalist, even though I totally am. I'm really minimal. My closet has like 15 pieces in it. That's like my thing, is having like a super minimal trendy closet. But that plays into why I don't like labeling myself as a minimalist, and that's because you could argue that me switching out my pieces and having some variety is not super minimal, but honestly I tried to do like the couple t-shirts, couple pants, and super simple style thing, and I got bored. Like I didn't enjoy it. So overall, the amount of clothes and like things I own is very limited and compact and small, but I do like to bring in new things and switch things around once in a while. There's no like real method to it, just I can tell pretty much instantly now that I've been doing this for so long, like, hey, I'm not reaching for this, time to sell it, or, you know, pass it along to somebody else. And then bring in something new that's exciting.
Number 3, what drew you to minimalism? Minimalism was not very popular when I first started minimalism. Minimalism at the time was still a very niche and radical concept, so I can't say there was anything that drew me to it. I think it was probably just fate that day that I found that book at Urban Outfitters saying do less. I really was looking for a lifestyle that would answer my problem to how could I live a more financially responsible life. So I'm really happy that I found that book. I guess I'm kind of lazy. I don't like working a lot or working in a way that makes me unhappy. So minimalism has really helped me a lot with curating my needs and financial spending. So I'm able to have a more fulfilling work life because I can say no to projects that I don't want, and I can kind of allocate my working time in a way that makes me happy without having financial pressures because I'm drowning in consumer debt.
Question 3, what drew you to minimalism? So I mentioned this in my video. I don't really have a big origin story of how I became a minimalist. It kind of just happened by accident. I didn't really realize that I was being a minimalist until the term kind of came out. Suddenly it was kind of trendy to be a minimalist, and that's how I learned about it. And then I realized like, oh, I totally am a minimalist. But what I like about the minimalist lifestyle and what really appeals to me is the simplicity of it. I talked about this in the last question, but not having like mental and physical clutter. I think it lets you focus on what matters more.
Number 4, what is your best minimalism habit? I think owning less material possessions than I think I would have if I wasn't a minimalist. That has really helped me a lot with my mental health, living in a more clutter-free environment, having more money in the bank because I'm not wasting it on junk, having more free time because 1, I don't have to take care of my material possessions, and 2, I don't have to work as much to maintain a certain consumeristic lifestyle. So I think that one of my best minimalism habits is that I don't place a lot of importance on accumulating material possessions and instead finding value in other areas of my life, whether that be like a good work-life balance, maintaining a healthy body, just having a lot of self-care time.
Question 4, what is your best minimalism habit? I would say my best habit is that I have a really good system of decluttering, and I feel like it's almost like a mental thing now that I do, where I'm like, okay, like instantly I know like this I haven't been reaching for. Some people, when they kind of like start minimalism, they do a thing when they're like, okay, have I reached for this in 6 months? Do I see myself using this? They kind of go through like a mental checklist of like whatever they're thinking of decluttering. I feel like I've been doing this for so long that now it's like ingrained in me, and I pretty much know instantly like, okay, it's time for this. Or like, I held on to this for too long and I don't want it anymore. So that's kind of my thing, but I think it just comes with practice. And once you like go into like that mental like lifestyle of how you're trying to do things in a more minimal way, you get used to it, and then you just like start to like do it without thinking, I guess.
Number 5, what is one minimalism stereotype you aren't crazy about? I think one minimalism stereotype I'm not too crazy about is actually the uniform. I did try the uniform. I tried it for about 2 years. If you're wondering what color I wore it in all black. And as good of a social experiment that it was, and it did also teach me to not put as much importance on my appearance and focus more on doing tangible and productive things. As I found for myself, I'm not too crazy about having a uniform. I prefer a little bit more variation in my clothes. And another one is I'm not crazy about the no duplicate rule. I've made a lot of videos ragging on this rule. Having no duplicates is a bit too strict for my liking. So I know it says only one question or only one stereotype, but I'd have to say there's 2 in particular I wasn't too crazy about: the uniform and not having duplicates.
Question 5, what is one minimalism stereotype you aren't crazy about? For me, I would say that it's that you can't be like trendy and like current, and that you're pretty much stuck in your like little minimalist neutral plain box. I really don't believe that. I feel like I have a lot of fun with fashion, and I don't have to own a lot of it. I feel like my house looks great and there's not things everywhere. I definitely think you can still appreciate and enjoy good design while being a minimalist. And actually, I would argue that you can enjoy it even more as a minimalist, because you know that the pieces that you're bringing into your life are truly things that you want to own and you believe in, because you just don't have a lot of different things in your house or in your environment.
Okay, we're gonna be doing part 2, which is on She's French's channel. And thank you so much to She's French for asking to do this collab with me. I feel really, really flattered and inspired and just very grateful that somebody wanted to do a collab with me. It means a lot to me. It makes me feel like I'm living my best YouTuber life. Thank you to everybody who took the time to watch this video, both on behalf of She's French and my own channel. Thank you, everyone. While I was like filming this, I was like so nervous. I think you guys could tell like the speed at which I'm speaking in the videos is like super slow, because I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself on her channel. Okay, all right, so there we go. Those are a couple minimalism questions, just kind of getting you guys to know myself and herself. And yeah, if you guys enjoy these videos and these collabs, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you enjoyed this. If you guys happen to already know She's French, I'm actually really curious. I don't think the minimalism community is like that big, so I'm just wondering, have other people seen her stuff? Like I was a pretty big follower of her stuff, so yeah, she kind of took a hiatus and now she came back, and I was like, yee! So it was really cool, like fangirling on another YouTuber's channel and then them asking to do a collab with me. I was like, so happy. Anyway, thank you everyone who took the time to watch this. I really, really appreciate it, especially if you came over from She's French's channel. And thank you so much to my own little Cobras. You guys are the best. And thank you again to She's French. Thank you so much. Oh, this was so much fun. Let's keep doing these. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.